Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to look at how my team is set to shape up for the upcoming game week, including transfer plans and observations. Starting off with a quick look at how Game Week 7 went, I got a grand total of 0 points that had me climb 10k rank places and keeps me around the 337k rank in the world. This was because people like Ahil had already made negative transfers and thus patience rewarded us with 10k rank places. Let's see how my team is shaping up for Game Week 8 with the transfer plans this week. In goal, Niko, who's the most wildcarded player in this game week, and that makes sense considering his fixture run up to the World Cup break. He faces a Bournemouth side who are ranked last for expected goals and have taken the least shots amongst all the clubs in the Premier League. Moving on to defense, we have Trippier, who was my first transfer in for Estupiñán. I unfortunately could not catch the price rise, but his 37.9% ownership makes him very hard to ignore. As said in the previous video, he is on set piece duty, and with 11 key passes, he looks a must own for any team wildcarding right now. Next up we have Gonazalo, who was my second transfer in this week for a -4 hit. I brought him in for Trent, who doesn't quite justify his price tag at the moment, as Liverpool have looked horrible in defense. They did look a lot better with Jota and Thiago in the starting 11 against Ajax, so Trent is one to look out for in the upcoming game weeks. Because of the cancellation of Palace Brighton game, I was forced to start not so optimum players, one of them being Niko against Fulham. With Mitrovic's form, I don't expect him to get a clean sheet, but the London side being second worst for expected goals conceded, I hope Niko ends the game with an attacking return. Lastly, amongst the defenders, we have Stones. He does look an injury doubt at the moment, but if he starts, he does look likely to keep a clean sheet against a Wolves side who have looked poor in attack. I could remove him for another defender, but I don't think I want to take a -8 for this week. Moving on to midfield, we start off with Martinelli, the biggest riser in price alongside Haaland this season. He is the best player you could get at that price point, but with tougher fixtures coming up, he looks like he might be replaced in the next few game weeks. Next up was my early rush transfer in from last week. I brought him in mainly because of the Leeds game, but that has since been cancelled due to some police issues. I might as well keep him for the upcoming game weeks as I have quite a bit of areas to look after ahead of the international break. Lastly, in the midfielder slot is Andreas Pereira. Facing one of the worst defenses in the league, he could cause some damage as he is on set piece duty for a Fulham side who are well equipped aerially. He is another player I would recommend everyone who's wildcarding in this week. Moving on to attack, we start off with Isak. He has had 3 big chances in 2 games, and with Wilson still out, he is predicted to start against Bournemouth. This fixture does look pretty good for the Swede international, and I would expect him to have a couple returns. Next up is Haaland, and he gets the armband this week from me. He faces a good defensive side in Wolves, but his form of scoring 10 goals in 6 games does look like it's going to continue for a while. So he gets the armband from me. Lastly, a player who was on the move out for me last week, but due to the situation, I had to settle for him against Brentford. He hasn't held since Game Week 2, and with many people removing him ahead of their wildcard, will this be the time he returns quite a few times? And with that being said, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Here are another 2 videos which you might want to check out for some more tips ahead of Game Week 7.